Good afternoon. This is the demo for Sprint 2 of SearchWorks 3.3 Fall 2018 Work Cycle. I'm Sarah Seastone, and I'm serving as the product owner for the sprint, and I'm joined by other members of the team, including Jesse Keck as developer and technical lead, Alyssa Hafley as Scrum Master, Jennifer Vine as designer, Camille Villa as developer, Chris Beer as developer, Drew Winget as developer, Jack Reed as developer, Shelly Doljak as developer, and Cam Chan as operations liaison. In this work cycle, we plan to address high priority enhancements to the SearchWorks application, continue improving the performance of the SearchWorks from the user's point of view, release a SearchWorks status and performance dashboard, and address some long-standing and high-priority bug reports and feature requests from user feedback. Today, we'll be walking through some of the work completed in our stage environment over the past week and some in production. In this demo, Jack is going to take us through some work on the zero results page and a bandwidth overhaul. Chris will walk through the schema.org site search link integration and some added missing metadata sections in virtual objects. Jesse will talk through the faster loading of digital collections page and some work that was done on the dashboard Vanity URL and updated time horizons. And then Camille will finish on the status dashboard talking about some accessibility updates and responsiveness updates. So that's what's on the agenda for today. So Jack, if you want to get us started on the zero results page.
Sure thing. Thanks so much. All right. So here I want to show kind of what's currently in SearchWorks and kind of the updates and changes we've made. Here we have a record that has, I'm going to start with bound with and then move to zero results. We have a record here that is bound with other items. And, you know, users can see that by having this yellow paragraph. And there's just kind of this paragraph of things that, you know, of text here, and it's a little bit hard to read. There's also showing these call numbers and show available, but I think they're all the kind of same call number. And one thing to also note is there's this, you know, there's this imhold thing here that kind of bleeds into the rest of the pages. So one thing what we've done here is we've updated this show page. So instead of having this kind of run-on paragraph, now we have a list of items here, and those are linked to the item it's bound with. We're not showing availability here because that availability was kind of a false reading, and then we've also changed how those imhold notes show up here. So no longer does it bleed onto the rest of the page, but it's all self-contained in there. One thing to also note is that we've changed how this shows up in search results. So instead of trying to list out all the, list out everything here, we actually just show the link to the full record here. It says, hey, go get all the full information here rather than a really long list. So those are the bound with changes that we've updated. I think there's also one more thing to note is that this only shows up for certain locations, certain specified locations that we've set up in advance. The next change I want to demo is some updates to our zero results page. So currently, when a user makes a search, they get this zero results page that says, hey, sorry, there's no catalog results found. And it gives you some options like, hey, try your search somewhere else and maybe remove limits. We've updated this page to actually do a couple nice things here for us. We kind of call out these immediate links where we're suggesting to remove limits or search all the fields. We go ahead and we look up, see if there's any search results in Articles Plus for you. So in this case, for this search, we see that there may be no records in the catalog, but there may be 130,000 records in the Articles Plus. And then we've moved around some of these blocks here. So we've moved chat with a librarian up to the upper left here. And I think if we, oh, there we go. We can get chat assistance immediately there. And then we can also, we've also updated the links down here. So we've added this interlibrary loan link. And then also, if I click through these links, so this will search my search term in something like Hoffy Trust. So the same thing we did for catalog, we also did for Articles Plus. So here's the old Articles Plus 0 results page, and we have updated it, to show here. So, some of the more options updates here are, we have a link here to databases, so maybe the user will find something better in databases. So that's all I got to share about 0 results and bound width. Thanks.
Excellent, thanks, Jack. So I think we'll move to Chris talking about schema.org integration.
Sure. Jesse, if you can drive for me and start on the Google Site search box page, I think. Google and other search engines have this feature that allows them to expose a search box for an application right in their search results display. So example here is a user searching for Pinterest, and Google then pops up a search box that will then search Pinterest using Pinterest's search engine. And they do this in a way using structured linked data that allows an application or website to expose the information to the Google crawler or any search engine crawler. And the markup's fairly simple. It's just a couple lines that basically says, hey search engine, I have a website with a search action. Here's how you can construct a search for me. So we were able to do this within the SearchWorks app. So on the SearchWorks homepage, there's a little machine readable data structure here that's marked up in schema.org. It's it just represents basically what an action a user would take if they entered something to our search box directly. And we can validate this using the schema.org structured data testing tool. We just pop that in. I'm not sure if the script type is important or not. We'll see. We can see Google's able to parse it out into get more structured data, and they're able to figure out our URL template. And if they deign to show a search box on their page, we've now given Google all the information they need to do that. And the second thing I'm going to show is some work we did on our virtual objects in SearchWorks, where we were suppressing some metadata, or the way we were displaying metadata wasn't working for these virtual objects. So here in SearchWorks, we see we go directly into creators and contributors. If you switch over to stage, there's some more high-level metadata available now, including the edition, imprint, and physical description.
Great. So some of the other things that I would like to show today are some of the incremental improvements that we're trying to make for performance. One of the things that we had identified, I think, is particularly evident if we click the digital collections page from the digital collections link from our homepage. Anytime that we've been rendering one of these collections in a search result, and particularly in this case where we're rendering 20 of them in a search result, we basically found a bit of an inefficiency in the way that we're going and fetching the collection members themselves. So now, and I should mention, the stuff that we've been demoing today has been deployed to our stage environment, and you should see all of these changes rolled out into production with a notification in the not too distant future. So now on our SearchWorks stage page, although it might be a little bit difficult to see, particularly in a recording, but we've taken some metrics and I think determined about anywhere from a 45% decrease in page load time to I think anywhere up to a 60% decrease in page load time, depending on kind of what we're putting it through and where it's deployed. So again, one of these incremental changes we've been making, trying to get certain parts of the application to respond quicker, are the search results for digital collection by now rendering the collection membership asynchronously as opposed to rendering them when we load the page. So that's been a nice improvement that we've made. I'm going to now switch over to the SearchWorks status dashboard and mention kind of two things. One is that we do have a new Vanity URL. So searchworks-status.stanford.edu is a URL that now points to this application. So that's nice. It's under the stanford.edu domain. In addition to that, we've taken some of the performance metrics. Previously, if you've seen some of our demos, we had just a 7-day time frame for each one of these. We've enhanced that a little bit based on some interactions that we noticed during an incident with the dashboard, and have now updated that so that we can provide different time horizons for the various performance metrics that you see. So what you can see here for the SearchWorks page load time is that you have the ability to look at a 6-hour time frame, a 3-day time frame, or get a larger 30-day time frame. And then for some of our external services, which we don't necessarily have the ability to get that large of a time frame of, we are still able to select smaller time horizons. So say for our solar index and EBSCO, we can both get 6-hour and 3-day time frame graphs for this content. And that's all that I have to share today.
Alrighty, let me get my windows in order here and get this toolbar out of the way. Okay, so more updates on SearchWorks status dashboard. So we have done some improvements to responsive behavior. So you can now jump around to the different sections when you are in responsive mode. Also, thanks to Jennifer Vine, our UX designer, for doing a deep dive on the screen reader experience in the status dashboard. So I guess not a lot of this is apparent to the eye, but done things like making sure that these status icons are properly associated with the service they're associated with, and included sort of announcements for when new time horizons are loaded by these buttons. So that is it on SearchWorks status updates.
Excellent. Thanks, Camille. So that's a lot of work that the team's been doing, and as we said, we're excited to deploy that to production in the next few days. The status dashboard is in production, and you can go to that nice URL now. I think that's it for us today. If you have comments, questions, or feedback on the work completed this week, you can Slack or email any of the team members or leave a comment in the YouTube channel. We look forward to your feedback on the work that's been completed. Thanks.